What is good? It is your boy PvbloGrey, and we are back with another reaction video. The title of this video, the video is from The Hill. The title of the video is Saagar, I think that's what the name is. Saagar and Ryan, excuse me, Austin mayor caught in Mexico while telling residents to stay home. Interesting. But before we get into the video, you like what I'm doing here, man, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for helping me beat the algorithm. Thank you for everybody who bought the merch. Thank you for everybody who's been streaming 11:30 and all my other music or later music. So yeah, thank you. But let's get into the video.
Well, November 9th, it's an important date. It wasn't that long ago, right after the election. You know, we're thinking about it. Coronavirus cases slightly up on the rise. Public officials beginning to give some warnings. One of those was Austin Mayor Steve Adler. This is what he had to say on that day. Let's take a listen.
The thrust of the most important messages trying to get out to the community right now is that our numbers are increasing, and everybody has to be aware of that. And then we need to, stay home if you can. Do everything you can to try to keep the numbers down.
Just look at his
this
fucking
is not
face.
the time.
Stay home. This nigga lying. He know he about to go to Mexico right now.
That, and then we need to, stay home if you can.
Just look at the fucking smirk on his face. He know he fried. He lied to y'all. Damn, Austin. Got you. That man a stone cold liar. Nah, it ain't funny.
Do everything you can to try to keep the numbers down. This is not the time to relax.
Not the time to relax, Ryan, except you might notice the kind of staccato there in the background. Turns out he was filming that in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, which he flew there on a private plane the day after hosting a wedding reception for his daughter at a boutique hotel in Austin with 20 guests. At the time, Austin was...
Wowzers. This is great news. This is great news. Why? Because it's expose. People need to get fucking exposed for shit. Shit that is honestly wrong. Hypocritical shit. People should get exposed for hypocritical shit. I'ma stand on that. Exposure for other shit, I don't know. I'm not gonna condone that shit. But being exposed for hypocritical shit, that is great news. Back to the clip.
Under a stage 3 advisory recommending no more than 10 people gather. I mean, look, there's been a lot of bad ones. This is probably the worst one yet. I mean, the guy flies on a private jet to Cabo, hang out with the fam, hosting a wedding reception. Good Lord. I mean, this is just total hypocrisy. It's crazy.
Well, you could see it in his face when he said stay home. When he said stay home,
Didn't I say that? The hypocrisy and the look on his fucking face. I said that. You could tell he was fucking fried. He knew it. He couldn't even hold it in. Stop electing these fucking fraudulent ass leaders. Austin.
His face kind of lights up in a way. He's like, oh boy. and then you see that kind of Spanish architecture.
Yeah, like in the background
behind him. Now, there's a lot of Spanish influence in Austin and throughout Texas. So you're like, oh, that looks like a pretty casual shirt that the guy's wearing there too. Where is he? All of this could have been avoided if policymakers and leaders would have taken a more kind of rational approach to the situation from the beginning, because then you wouldn't get the hypocrisy charges.
Yeah.
If you remember in the beginning, and not that a lot of this sentiment has led up, you had this viral guy going around in a Grim Reaper costume on the beach, harassing people. It's like, what are you doing? I'm sitting outdoors with my family, like distance from everyone else on the beach. Like, get away from me, you creep.
Yep.
And so, in Washington D.C., they closed parks.
Yeah.
You couldn't take.
How come I didn't know about these people? These people are funny. These two, they're funny. I like them. I'm just going off one video because I don't know who they really are in real life. They could be terrible people. I have no fucking idea. But based off the persona they're presenting in this video, I like the type of persona they are presenting in this video for this type of video.
Couldn't even read. Couldn't even read on a bench. Yeah.
They would send. You know, I was trying to teach one of my twins to ride her bike early on, and you know, on like near a baseball field. Nobody else within hundreds of yards, and a cop comes up and it's like, you have to get out of here. And my daughter started crying. She's like, I hate coronavirus.
Oh, jeez.
Like, yes, it is coronavirus. It's also this weird policy that says you can't be outdoors in a park. Now they walked some of they
Ain't that some shit? They got y'all on lockdown. That ain't okay. Y'all need to speak up. Get some legislation passed. Stop allowing them to keep inching and progressing new legislative bullshit on you. Because eventually it's just going to be all crazy before you know it. Before you realize.
They walked some of that back. Parks are open in a more significant way, and that hasn't led to any sort of outbreak. But I was warning at the time, and a lot of people were, that if you give people directions that are absurd and impossible to follow, you know, you're going to undermine your credibility as public health officials, and then you're also going to open yourselves up to these kinds of hypocrisy scandals when you yourself can't follow them.
And that's exactly what has happened, because guess what? Public officials are like all of us, and they're fed up with this nonsense, which is exactly what happened out in San Francisco. Same thing. At this point, we need to count the number of officials who are not hypocrites. That would probably be a shorter list. San Francisco Mayor London Breed had her own party at the French Laundry the night after Gavin Newsom, the same fancy little restaurant and all of that. And what is she doing? She's out there advocating for more lockdown, shutdown. I mean, look.
Like, bro, when y'all gonna realize, bro, stop electing leaders who don't have to follow the same shit you do. If they're not like you, stop voting for them. If they can't be like you, stop voting for them. I know there's not really a way to make sure, like, when they're in there, they do what you ask of them. But you could at least, I don't know, in some intimidation. Not physical intimidation. You don't have to hurt anybody. No physical harm. None whatsoever. But, you know, just like, bro, we won't vote for you. Or we'll, I don't know, we'll choose someone totally opposite of you. If you gonna fuck it up, we gonna get the right one in there. Or figure out to pass some legislation that allows you to get rid of officials sooner than expected if they ain't doing what you ask. Some shit like that. It's possible.
Same thing in Los Angeles, right? The board, whoever, the deciding vote on the city council in order to shut outdoor dining, votes to shut down outdoor dining, and then goes to eat outside in Santa Monica hours after the vote, same day. And she just murdered that business and so many others. And it's like I said here, look, there's no evidence whatsoever around outdoor dining and its spread. If there is any spread whatsoever, it's indoor dining. And then even then, they're like, people who go out to eat, you know, indoors are like twice more likely to contract it. Yeah, well, they're probably more like risk takers anywhere. So can you really say that this is a vector for transmission? Look, and again, this is just when it comes down to public health, then you actually have to have the trust of the public. And I think that they have lost it completely. And I don't want to make light of restrictions or anything. Look, it's a terrible situation right now. Like, let's throw this stats up there on the screen. We've now got 14 million COVID-19 cases. You and I were just looking at the death number. I think yesterday we had about 2,885 deaths that were reported yesterday. This is from the New York Times. And the number of cases is also really high up there. It's 199,988, nearing very close to 200,000 a day. Deaths are also a lagging indicator, so very likely that number is going to go up. Now, should say, proportion.
Let me run that back. Let's read this. according to NBC News tally. So the news is giving out the statistics. And the New York Times is reporting what another media station tallied the stats. Y'all don't think that shit's weird? The same people who also called the fucking election, who aren't qualified to do so, are also the same people giving you stats and are quoting each other for stats. That's some weird shit that doesn't make sense. How is this information legitimate?
Really high up there. It's 199,988, nearing very close to 200,000 a day. Deaths are also a lagging indicator, so very likely that number is going to go up. Now, should say, proportionally relative to the amount of cases that were there 2 weeks ago. And the death number, it's not even close to the same as what it was in April, but every life lost is, still a human life, and it's a cherished one. And I think that is something where it's so terrible that we're in this situation. And you have these total hypocrites who are in charge. And at this point, nobody is going to listen to them. Absolutely no one. Right. And, I don't know what else to say. I hope the vaccine can't come soon enough, because this is the only way we're going to get out of this mess.
Right.
That's where I'm going to have to stop you, bud. That's where I'm going to have to stop you, bud. I can't fuck with that. Because the vaccine isn't a sure way for anything. There's never been a for sure vaccine out there at all. Never. And you think this is something that was forced to be made within a year? Come on, bro. Just when I thought I liked y'all, you fucked up, bro. That's when I'm ending it. Fuck these two. I ain't with that vaccine shit. You should have said something like, yeah, we would have to see what these vaccines is going to be like and how safe they might be. You ain't say that shit. I don't agree with that. Fuck you. It's the end of the video. You like what I'm doing here? Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go cop the merch. Stream the music. Thank you. Let me get back to these chips and guac. Thank you. Pablo out.